A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, come to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Florine Rajendran. Let's start off with a look at your headlines.
Constitutional Council to convene today. US-sponsored resolution on Sri Lanka to be taken up in Geneva today. Subcommittee appointed to study the recently tabled UNHRC report on Sri Lanka under the leadership of former President Kumaratunga. Hambantota police launch manhunt to apprehend a suspect who attempted to abuse a sleeping child. Australia appoints its first female defence minister.
On to those stories in detail now. The second meeting of the Constitutional Council, which was established following the enactment of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, will be held at the Parliamentary Complex today. The meeting will be held under the auspices of Speaker Karu Jayasuriya. In other local news, the first draft of the US-sponsored resolution on Sri Lanka entitled Promoting Reconciliation, Accountability and Human Rights in Sri Lanka will be taken up at the first informal sessions on the resolution at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva today. Reports from Geneva say that copies of the US draft resolution were distributed among the delegates who are taking part in the UNHRC sessions in Geneva. Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Harsha De Silva says that the Sri Lanka delegates are currently engaged in drumming up support among the state members for a common consensus on the resolution.
The
Sri Lankan delegates in Geneva are engaged in diplomatic activities at present. We know that the report contains 261 pages, out of which 19 pages are on Sri Lanka. We are also aware of the details which are included in the draft report. This report has been made available to everyone in the world through the web. The US is holding discussions on its recommendations at present. There are a number of alternatives for this, as it's still being negotiated. Therefore, time will tell how we should move forward. We are working diplomatically towards it.
On to another headline-making news. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party has taken measures to appoint a subcommittee to study the recently published UNHRC report on Sri Lanka by seeking the assistance of former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga.
Ministers Nimal Siripala De Silva, Anura Priyadarshana Yapa, Faisal Mustafa, Susil Premajanta, Daminda Disanayaka, as well as Kesara Lal Gunasekara and Atada Seneviratna have also been appointed to the subcommittee as members. General Secretary of the SLFP, Daminda Disanayaka, said the committee is scheduled to meet tomorrow. The Central Committee of the SLFP appointed a subcommittee to study the Geneva report. The committee is entrusted with the responsibility of analyzing the report in order to create awareness on its content among the party members. This decision was reached as the report is quite lengthy. This report will therefore be formulated by seeking the assistance of both politicians and legal experts.
Police have launched a search operation to apprehend a suspect who attempted to sexually abuse an underage girl in the Bundala area in Hambantota.
Our correspondent stated that the suspect, who is yet to be identified, had arrived at the residence of the girl around 1:30 last morning and had attempted to abduct her while she was asleep. His attempts were futile as the incident woke up the neighbor, resulting in the suspect to flee the area. The manhunt is being carried out jointly by the Hambantota and Tissamaharama police.
Meanwhile, the National Child Protection Authority notes that investigations have commenced into 6,500 complaints that have been received pertaining to child abuse. Its chairperson Natasha Balendran said that these complaints, which have been received over the course of this year, include child abuse, depriving children of education and negligence towards children.
Children and Young Persons Ordinance
Under the Children and Young Persons Ordinance, some of the complaints we receive are sent to the police to conduct investigations. They then arrest the perpetrators and produce them in court. Other complaints we receive are not sent to the police but are looked into via area district officers. When comparing numbers, this year there seems to be a reduction in the number of complaints received, but we cannot say with certainty about the number of incidents. On behalf of the NCPA, we request everyone to work together with us to protect the rights of children.
එකතු වෙන්න කියලා ළමයින්ගේ ආරක්ෂාව තහවුරු කරන්න
UNP parliamentarian Dr. Kavinda Jayawardena states that all MPs must show their support to bring in the death penalty.
When the country is deteriorating day by day, what is the decision that we as politicians and citizens have to make? President Maithripala Sirisena has taken a good decision to bring in the death penalty through the approval of Parliament. I think that as MPs, we have to stand for the decision. We have to definitely punish the criminals. The MP made this statement last evening in Raguma at an event to hand over public projects to the people.
The investigations into the deaths of 2 university students who were allegedly killed in a suspicious motor accident in Imbulgoda in the year 2012 have been handed over to the Criminal Investigations Department. This order was issued by Gampa Chief Magistrate K. Jayathilaka when the case was taken up in court today.
2 university students studying at the Kelaniya and Ruhunu universities who were part of the Inter-University Students Federation died in a car accident in 2012 while they were putting up posters in Imbulgoda. The Inter-University Students Federation body who found the accident to be suspicious had lodged a complaint with the police. When the case was taken up today, the magistrate, via the Attorney General, ordered that the investigations be handed over to the CID.
Minister of Education Akhil Viraj Karivasam says that all students will be provided with equal education opportunities.
Under the closest or the best school concept, I hope to restructure 3 or 4 schools in each divisional secretariat to meet the demands of popular schools. May it be physical resources, teachers or the principal. We will provide all of these to those schools and try to reduce the overcrowding in these schools. Therefore, we expect everyone to be treated in fairness by developing these schools and provide training to the teachers. We have spent 5 years to implement these measures, but you will see the results within a span of 2 to 3 years. The minister made this statement while speaking at an event in Nikavaratia. Deputy Minister of Transport Ashoka Abesinghe was also present at the event.
The suspect in connection with the murder of a father, mother and child in the Galputta area in Naivala, Minuwangoda was produced before the Gampa Magistrate Court today. A poultry farm owner in Naivala, Galputta area in Udugampula, Gampaha and his wife and daughter fell victim to the incident. The deceased were 55-year-old Dharmasena Pereira and his wife 45-year-old Vimalavati Pereira. The body of the 4-year-old daughter Jalani Kavinda was found in an abandoned well in the premises of the poultry farm. The remains of the deceased were recovered on the 10th of this month. Well, that's a wrap of lunchtime news here at News First. You can log into our website www.newsfirst.lk for these stories and much more. For the News First team, I am Florine Rajendran. Have a wonderful day ahead of you.